Hey guys, it's Lemmingers. Today, I have a replay from Anonymizer. He didn't send this to me, it was uploaded to Watt Replays, and what I was doing is I was going through games that I thought were high quality, really good results that you could probably replicate. And I wanted to talk about if there was a mistake made. I wanted to try to talk about why the great game happened and give you some sort of insight so you're set up to basically become a better player. So we're on the map Muro. This is Anonymizer. He's in his Leopard 1. Totally good tank. Like, I think if it's not a mistake to play this tank, for example. The one mistake I think a lot of people make is to assume that the Leopard 1 is a sniping tank, because a bunch of people, like especially in the tank reviews of this tank, the ones with the most views, basically tell you the Leopard 1 is a sniping tank, and that's exactly what Anonymizer's going to do. Now, this tank can snipe, and we're watching this in third person. Here we go. Here's his camera angle. This tank is totally capable of sniping, and what he's doing is he's come to this position to try to get shots on people like this Leopard, and the reason he was looking here is presumably to get ready to shoot at a light tank cresting the ridge. The enemy team only has one, so it's unlikely he would get anything, but the thing is, he's a top tier medium, he's on that Muravanka, and he's come to this position here. Now, if you were to ever take a tier 10 medium to here and your team got mad at you, I would totally get it. I think it's not a good position for a tank like this. He's able to get shots, which is great, but you'll see how useless this position is as the game progresses. What will happen, and I can just show you from here, as the enemy team pushes around, especially on the zero line, Anonymizer's not going to get shots because they're all going to be below the ridge. So unless they come up really high, Anonymizer's not going to be able to do anything. He only has shots if they kind of push around like this, but if they go low and put themselves in the dip of that valley, he has no shots. So I'm going to fast forward this, and you can see he's looking at tons of tanks. This is minutes long of just sitting here. He got a really slim shot on this IS-4. You can see he sees the guy's gun, and from this position, he does not have shots. So, you know, because even though this is a 7k damage game and he actually played really well, he just took his first shot and we're 3 minutes into the game apart from his early damage. And only now is he starting to kind of get shots. I think if he was somewhere back here, even though it would trigger his teammates more, he would have gotten more damage from sniping. And honestly, if you watch how this fight plays out, I'm going to show, like I said, teaching. I'm not just going to, I'm going to fast forward through the boring shit and just try to keep it going for the unboring things. You see how this game is going out. I totally think he could have used this HP right here. Could you imagine what a full HP Leopard would be doing to a T-44 UDAS and T-30 if he were just simply down here with the T-42 flanking those guys? He would have been doing way more damage. He would have been keeping his teammates alive for way longer. And you can see the enemy team just drives around and kills them. And we've got Anonymizer in his full HP Leopard right here. So I don't think he was nearly aggressive enough in a tank like this. He got extra shots into the IS-4 after all of his teammates are dead. And now he's at this point in time where he has to run away. Now, the timing of this exit, he's stopping for this extra shot. Huge mistake. He should have left immediately, because what's going to happen, and this always happens when you run away through the south of this map, is it's very easy for them to chase you and shoot you down. So you can see Anonymizer stops again, and you'll see if you ever make this play, you do not want to delay on this rush, because you're rushing across an open field. It almost never works. So Anonymizer's driving back, and Charioteer gets spotted to his right. That's random, but not unexpected. The enemy team still has 15 tanks left, and he's down 6, so, you know, he's running away. So Charioteer spots him, and he should be getting farmed, especially if the enemy team was quick about pushing in. But you can see Leopard 1's already in a position to shoot him, and normally he got very lucky that it was only the Leopard 1 who shot at him. He escaped the right way. He took the correct route, but I think 9 times out of 10, you're not going to want to deliberate about it the way he did. Now, he's back in this position. So looking at the map right here, I'll just pause it to show you what's going to happen. If you were in this position and trying to win the game, you would expect most of these tanks are going to drive across like this and try to get up to here, especially because the cap is there. This is encounter after all. So you do not want to be on this ridge poking onto them, because what will happen is a select group of tanks will go down to here and they'll shoot at you if you're playing on this ridge. So the best position for him from a strategic perspective is either K4 or to push the 1 line, because if he could successfully push the 1 line, he'd actually be set up to do well in this game. Now, that's not possible in this case. You know, it's a Chieftain, an E4, and a T30. Leopard 1 cannot push that side of the map, especially with the way his team is playing. It's just not workable. So he's going to take the shot at the Chieftain, and his next best play is to get back into K4. Now, you can see Leopard is cresting the ridge the same way I would say. He runs into the building. It happens to everyone, man, not just me. And here you go. He's come to K4. This is where, if you're ever in this map in this type of situation, you're going to win a lot of games by taking this type of position, because you get shots on the enemy team who are trying to crest the ridge, basically where the Leopard 1 is, and then you're also able to spot down the K line. So he's here, he's knocking over trees. A lot of players will be scared to knock over trees, his knocking over trees wins him the game. And the reason most people don't knock over trees is because they're worried Artie will see them. Have you ever seen Artie players play? They're not seeing shit. They don't even have a mini-map, most of them. So don't worry about it. 99 times out of 100, Artie will not see the trees you're knocking over. And if they blind fire, they're probably going to miss anyway. So don't worry about it at all. Knock over trees, take bushes, and that's what he does here. And that's one of the contingent things to making this position work. So at this point, he's playing the front lines because the enemies are going to come up through the K-line. I think this is a really good use of a tier 10 medium. He's securing the K-line right on, and the enemy team's not going to do very well because they're not putting a lot of people on cap. There's very little cap pressure. A T-30 can totally reset that. He gets the kill on the T-44, and then as that IS-3 pushes in and the SU-101, he should get shots from here. So really strong position. Like I said, he's just going to use this. Now, you can see that IS-4 is poking around. You might be inclined to try to do something if you have good situational awareness. Like, I don't think you can do anything about it from this position. You can see as the enemy team pushes in, Char Futures in the open. That one was a really bad shot. If you saw my shot on the VK last video, very similar. Just missed the aiming basically. He's camping the Char Future. If you look at the map, that guy's got a building between himself and him, and that's not destructible. So he can't shoot the building down or anything like that. There's 30 seconds left on the cap, so if I was in this situation, I'd be getting a bit apprehensive about it, and I would consider moving over to G1 to maybe get resets. Luckily, his team gets a reset, and all he has to do is continue to sit here because there's literally... Okay, most people would watch this and say he's fighting nothing. He should go do something. But look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks are within his, like sphere of influence, I guess. I don't know what's in him. He can affect those 5 tanks, and by sitting here, he's shooting at the Leopard as he pushes in. I think this is a really strong position because he's keeping 3 of his teammates from getting flanked. If he were to go push that IS-4, totally change the situation. Now, Char's YOLOing in. That guy's mostly safe. Once he shoots, he will not get spotted, in my opinion. He fell back just in case, and he did get lit, so I was mistaken. But there you go. Puts a shot onto the Char. The guy's 924 HP. That guy's trying to flank his teammates. So I don't know how he's going to deal with this. What you'd expect to start happening is people are going to start pushing down to here once they see the Leopard one spotted and falling back. So he's falling back. I think that's the right thing to do. The Char is not farming anyone, thank God, and he gets the T-30 up here. So this shot doesn't go in. It's a T-30 almost never going to. In my opinion, the best way to deal with this is to get up to J1, shoot the Char once or twice, hoping... In this case, what he's doing by not doing what I suggested, he's hoping the E4 can kill the Char Future. Now the E4 is shooting HE. Why would you shoot HE in an E4 in this context? But anyways, and he comes up to here and he puts a shot to the T-30. T-30 spots him late. He gets shot. Well, luckily the T-30 didn't shoot him. AMX 1390 shoots him once, so he's only down 200 HP. And now he's got a full HP MX 1390 in front of him, an Artie on the enemy team, an IS-3, and an unspotted UDES. He kills the UDES? What was that? I need to watch that again. Okay, so we're watching this from his perspective. The 1390 falls back, he's pushing into them. The enemy has an unspotted UDES. UDES is there. Oh, he can see the UDES, of course. Okay, so he gets the side shot on the turret of the UDES, and that UDES really, honestly, pushing in the K-line like they were is how you lose games. But there you go, the UDES dies for it. And now, all he has is a 1390 in front of him, and someone's on cap. So in this situation, it could be Artie on cap. I think it's 9 times out of 10 going to be the IS-3, and so what he does is he pushes into this 1390. You can see he's got HE loaded, which is the right thing to do right here, and the IS-3 spotted on cap. So he's going to YOLO in. 1390 does not notice him. You really should aim with HE, especially when you're on the side of tanks like that. You're almost never going to pen. You're going to shoot tracks and not pen, basically. He gets lucky, sets the guy on fire, loses, and now his ammo rack doesn't die, and now there's this IS-3 right here. So I'm just going to fast forward this. It's a tier 10 tank versus an IS-3. All he has to do is YOLO the guy. One thing I'm going to say is when you're YOLOing in this position, you don't want to get shot, right? Because there's Artie left, and Artie's very powerful endgame because they just sit in bushes and camp. So he's coming up over top. This is almost the worst possible way to do this. The guy just got off cap. So what does that imply? Well, he's probably either going this way or this. And so now his position, in my opinion, makes sense. But if you think the guy's on cap, approach it safely and get held down on either side. Like, that's going to be a lot better. So he's driving into the middle. Wherever the IS-3 goes, he's going to be flanking him. So this is perfect. He has the flank, takes the shot, and he should have just fucking aimed this. Like, I don't get it. He's now a one-shot to Artie if he's unlucky. And this IS-3 can't run away, so he gets the kill. There you go. That's his 5th kill of the game. The last kill is just chasing down Artie. He now knows where Artie is because Artie missed, which is great. But, you know, that's me watching this replay. Going after Artie like this, I think is not smart. I'm going to be honest. I think you can do it really intelligently. He just YOLOs across the field. There's so many bushes, and you can try to catch Artie out, especially if the M40 gets on cap. And he's very lucky that this SU-14 too is not in like a bush over here or something waiting for him, because then the SU might have the side shot. It's just, you got to play it safe in this situation. But my big critique in this replay, like honestly, I don't see the point of starting off in G7. He didn't get any shots until his team had already lost the 0 line. If you were to snipe from K9 or something like this, if you were to sit here, you can imagine the second they crest over the 0 line ridge, you're going to have shots. And so to sit somewhere like this is way better than what he was doing over here, which, like, he could have started where he did and then rotated over. I think that would have been a great play as well. And I might actually do that in the future. But, you know, really, if you're going to play this map again, I wouldn't suggest starting where he did. I would say start off where he does. Don't stay there. Go help out your team on the 0 line, especially if you're top tier. If you don't want to help them out aggressively, go to K9. You're still going to accomplish similar things. You're just not going to be using your HP. So I think this was more than 6,440 damage. Let's go take a look at the end plates, and we will go from there. All right, so as you can see, that was a Master Badge First Class High Caliber. He did 7,023 damage. He got a Top Gun, so that was a really good game as far as kills go. He came first place on his team for damage. It's really hard not to when you do 7,000. The player behind him was the E4, who looked like he was shooting a lot of HP with that one. Let's see. Did he bounce 5 times or what? He did 5 shots of splash damage. Okay, so yeah, this E4 was shooting HE. He fired 9 times. 4 of them actually penned, so they were probably track damage or whatever. The other 5 were just splash damage, so HE. This game got this guy 57k credits, blah, blah, blah. Fired 24 shots, 17 of them penned. Good job on that score. The game was 9 minutes, 10 seconds long. Honestly, not the worst, but I hope this will help you with your play on this map. Like, I don't think his play was terrible. I don't think it was great. I think, you know, I highlighted what I thought he did well and what I thought he didn't do well. So there you go. If you want to see more of my videos, be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed my live stream if you saw that. And yeah, I hope to see you around. Later, guys. Bye-bye.